Welcome to this Minute with Mary. I am so excited to be here on this Friday night. First and foremost, I want to thank all of our veterans who have, dedicated their time, their lives, the time with their family towards, protecting our country. So thank you so much. I am a daughter of a vet. My mom is a vet, so we take Veterans Day very, very seriously. She is an absolute hoot because on Veterans Day, rightly so, vets get treated very well through many different places. Many places will do, like free breakfast for vets, free this for vets, or whatever it may be. And so my mom, rightly so, once again, she generally makes a plan of it where she will have like different places to stop for different times of the day based upon all of the goodies that get happening for her. So if you are a vet, I hope that you were spoiled rotten by those who love you and by your community. And if you know a vet, this is your little reminder to send them a text, a phone call, a little Facebook message to let them know that you care about them and that you're thankful. All right, so in this Minute with Mary, I want to kind of go over my holiday bundle number 4. I have been having holiday bundles coming on out ever since November 1st, and I'm going to continue actually through like December 1st. They are discounted bundles of some of my best things, some of my tried and true. I'm also going to be having some like limited edition stuff, but this bundle is perfect for a flawless face, a flawless kind of canvas. And so when we're talking about who this bundle is really good for, this is for people who like to wear some makeup. This is for people who like either light coverage to full coverage because it includes all of my foundation. So I figured it would just take a little time to say a little hello. You could do me a favor and put hashtag hello lovely. That's the way that I can see who's watching because I can see some people are watching, but I want to know who. So put hashtag hello lovely. That would be fantastic. It's your little way to wave to me or give me a high five over the internet. And hello, Blake. Thank you. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, so let's start things off. So at Minute with Mary, if you go to minutewithmary.com, this next 3 or 4 days special is on your base face. So what we're talking about with your base face is your foundation, your concealer, your primer, those products that are really going to kind of set the stage for the rest of your makeup look. And I will be honest, a lot of people, myself included, over the past couple of years has not been wearing a ton of makeup. Let me know, have your kind of skincare and makeup routines changed over the past couple of years? Are you wearing more? Are you wearing less? We're going to go all into it. So this bundle, it is broken up into 3 tiers, kind of based upon what it is that you need. And I am going to give you some ideas if you wanted to gift it to somebody, because really this is a bundle that is great for yourself. But if you have a teen, preteen in your life who wants to start to explore with makeup, this would also be an ideal gift for them because my products, of course, are naturally based. They last very long. And if you have a teen or preteen, but you don't want them to be going like hardcore with makeup, the BB Flawless BB Cream is a lightly tinted hydrating product, which still lets their natural beauty shine through. It's actually what I'm wearing today. So it's just like a no makeup look. You can apply it with your fingers. You don't have to add blush or contouring or anything. So if you do have someone in your life, or if you yourself want to kind of tiptoe into wearing a little bit of makeup, the BB Flawless BB Cream is going to be your jam. Hi Denise, thank you so much for the hashtag hello lovely. Great to see you. All right, so I have had a crazy day today. I started things off with my cardiologist. Didn't get the news that I wanted to get, sadly. I've been having heart issues ever since I had the Rona in February, and I just kind of chalked it up to this is part of my long COVID. And last Friday, I saw my primary doctor. We realized that my heart rate was wild. I had an EKG that didn't go well. My blood work was okay, but since then I've had an echocardiogram and a heart monitor. And then today I met with a cardiologist, and I was so hopeful that he was going to be like, this is what's wrong with you. And then here are the different plans we can take. And that did not happen. That did not happen. So right now, next on track is I'm going to be taking an echo stress test. So like a stress test, and I don't know how they take an ultrasound while I'm doing a stress test. But anyway, I'm going to do that. He also wants me to be tested for Lyme disease. That'll be interesting. And then I do have something called a blocked left bundle or something like that. And it's something that generally happens to older people, but that shouldn't be what's causing these problems. So who knows? The adventure with my health continues. But I will say that, having that appointment brought down my mood a lot, as I was really hopeful that I was going to start to get some answers. And one of the reasons that I love makeup is because it is generally something that I can control. When there is chaos in this world, whether it is health or politics or things going on with my kids or things that I just can't control. You can't control other people. You can't control the weather. I'm sending lots of prayers to our friends in the Florida area. We're going to be getting her tropical storm Nicole in a little bit here in the Northeast. You just can't control those things. So if you ever feel like there's just so much chaos and you just feel like you can't catch your breath, I'm going to give you one of my best tips. It's to start doing makeup. And even if you've never done it before, I'm going to help you out. But when I put on my makeup, it is for me. I work from home. I do not put on my makeup for my kids, for my husband. Sometimes I feel like I put on my makeup for my cat Lumos, but really it's for me. It makes me feel good. When I pass myself in the mirror while I'm here at home, it makes me feel polished. It makes me feel pretty and pulled together. And so when you're doing makeup, frequently I might just do some mascara. That's kind of my ride or die. I love mascara. But if you wanted to start to work on your complexion, that's when these foundation products start to kick in. So the first thing, my first tier of my holiday bundle number 4, which you can find at minutewithmary.com, by the way, you get to pick your first primer. So face primer. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. First off, don't forget, put hashtag hello lovely. That's the little way for me to see you and say hellos to you. It's like, it warms my heart so much when I get to see that hashtag hello lovely. But the first thing that we got to keep in mind with your face primer is that face primer keeps the makeup from sitting in your pores, your fine lines. It doesn't really allow it to move around too much. It also creates a nice barrier so that your skincare does its job without mixing up too much into your foundation. It also creates a barrier if you're someone who has oily skin so that those oils can't eat away at your makeup. So putting on a face primer is something that I never used to do. I thought it was a joke. I was like, whatever, it looks clear on your face. This is just a waste of money. And then I put it on and it has been a game changer. Like, if you've ever put on makeup and then you go about your day and you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, why does it look like I have nothing on? The first thing I'm going to ask you is, are you wearing primer? So if you aren't, this is going to be your jam. So I have 3 different primers that are available in this special, available all the time at my site. The first one is the Glorious Touch Primer. So this is good for all ages, all skin types. If you don't know which one to go for, this is going to be the one that you're going to start off with. It just comes in the black tube. Just remember, the black tube's for everybody, and it even says on my site, good for everybody. The second one is the Hydrating Primer. This is a game changer for those of you who have dry, flaky skin. You live in more northern environments or desert environments, and you just feel like no matter how much water you drink, no matter how much skincare and lotion you put on, you just feel like your skin is always super thirsty. This is going to be your jam. If you like more of a dewy finish, this is going to be great for you. I personally don't use it all over my face. I have a more normal skin type, so I don't need that incredible extra hydration except at certain times of the year. Like when the seasons start to change, for about a week or so I need it. But I actually love to use this as primer for under my eyes. I just find that it gives even extra hydration. So if you, for the most part, your skin is okay, but you find you have some kind of dry crepiness under your skin, in addition to your skincare, you may want to put on hydrating primer underneath your eyes. And then the last one is kind of the opposite of that. It's mattifying primer. So if you like a more matte finish, this is obviously going to be the one that you go for. But I also recommend this one the most for people who have large pores, fine lines, kind of texture in your skin, is I find that this one makes it go super smooth. That being said, it does have a very different feeling. So all of these have different feelings to it, different viscosities, different thicknesses of the product. The black one, once again, it's the middle of the road. It's great for everybody. It has just like a gel feeling. The hydrating one has a more liquidy gel feeling because it's more hydrating. And then, of course, the mattifying one, it's a bit thicker of a gel. So just know that as you're putting on these different products, that you're going to have these different thicknesses to it. When you put on primer, you use about the size of a pea. Like just a little green pea. Apply it first to the areas of concern, so those large pores, those fine lines, and then you blend it out from there. Hi, Teresa. Thank you so much for the hello, lovely. Great to see you. Hey, Blake, can you see if Instagram's working? Because I don't see a video here, love. So we're trying Instagram for the first time. So if you're joining us on Instagram, hi, I just can't see you and I need to figure this out. So the primer, you apply it. It is? Yay, hi. I just can't see anything. So you apply the primer and you let it sit. You let it sit on your face 2, 3, 5 minutes. What do you do during this time, right? You can do the rest of your eye makeup. You can go brush your hair. You can go brush your teeth. You can go get dressed. But you want that primer to sit. You want to think of it as concrete filler, like pothole filler. And you need to let it set on your face. You're honestly not going to notice that much of a difference. It's not like it's going to change color or texture and you'll be like, now it's done. There's no magical timer that goes off, but do allow yourself a little bit of time. Myself, I put it on, I do my eyes, and then I know that my face is ready to go. This allows it to set without it mixing into your foundation. If you just apply the primer and then smear on your foundation, the two things mix and neither of them are actually going to work to their fullest potential. All right, friends who are joining, here's a fun thing for you. If you've already put hashtag hello lovely, done your little wave and high five to me, let me know. Have you always worn face primer? Or have you never worn face primer? Is primer a new thing for you? I would love, love, love to know. So in this holiday bundle number 4, the first thing you get is you get that primer. If you're new to makeup, my suggestion is going to be the Glorious Touch primer, the one that is good for everybody. If you're looking for a gift for those teens, those preteens who, once again, we're trying to just like lightly ease into makeup. We don't want to go full coverage. We don't want to jump into like, you know, really heavy, thick stuff. This is going to be the primer that I suggest for everybody. And this tube in particular lasts you the better part of a year. I will tell you that. Denise says sometimes she uses it. Awesome. Which one do you like to use, Denise? I'd love to know. So once your primer is all set, then we're going to talk about foundations. So foundations range based upon the coverage that you want. And when we're talking about the coverage, it's how much of your natural face you want to see. You know, think about even clothes. Like, is it like a see-through shirt, or will you not have to worry about any of your undergarments showing through? So when you're looking at light coverage for foundation, that is going to be your BB Flawless BB cream. This is, as I said, more of like a hydrating beauty balm. It still lets my freckles shine through. You can still see I do have some bruising that is still shining through. So you get to see some of these age spots, freckles, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it does have a dewy finish. You can see that little sheen to it. This is great for that no makeup look. It just kind of tones things down. So our friends who have redness, but they don't want to wear full coverage foundation, they just kind of want to even it out, this is great for you. You can apply it with your fingers. You can apply it in the car. People who need like that really fast, get me out the door, but I kind of want to look a little bit more like myself and less like the Grim Reaper, this is going to be your jam. So preteens, people new to makeup, looking for just that light makeup application, quick and easy and out the door, hydrating. If, as I said, if you're new to makeup, maybe you haven't been wearing it for a long time, you used to do all the steps, but you just want something simple, this is the one. This is the one. And I almost recommend that everybody who has either more mature skin or dry skin also have this in their arsenal, because even if you wear a more fuller coverage foundation at certain points of the year, you may also find that having this underneath it is going to give that extra barrier of hydration. So I absolutely love this. My friends who have mature skin, who do want more fuller coverage that is matte, my favorite suggestion is to have a layer of the BB cream and then actually to put on a little bit of pressed powder. And the pressed powder is part of this special. So that combination lasts super long, gives the hydration, but still mattifies. It's lovely. So BB cream, it's gonna be your jam. Denise says she uses the Glorious, so that black tube that I was sharing with you. And Teresa says she never wore face primer until she bought it through me, and she uses it whenever she wears foundation now. Oh, that's awesome, Teresa. And tell me, can you tell a difference? Carla, so great to see you. Hello, lovely. How are you tonight? Hello, Rachel. Thank you guys so much for those hashtags. It makes my heart burst. Oh my gosh, so happy. I usually don't go live at night. I usually don't do these things. I'm going to be real with you. I'm in my jammies. I'm in my jammies right now, and it is only 5:56 at night. But since the time change happened, I feel like it's 9 o'clock, and I just wanted to come on and like share with you this wonderful bundle that I have going on. And I was debating. I'm like, oh, should I change? Should I get all fancy? And the thing is that what I want to do for you is I want you to feel more confident. I want you to feel more confident and creative when it comes to your makeup. And me being glamazon all the time isn't real. It's not real. That's not really who I am. I am generally the woman in her pajamas by 5 o'clock at night. And I can still teach you these things. I can still help you and tweak things. Now, if you've never done a certain makeup technique, one of my favorite things to do is on a Friday night when I have nowhere to go and my kids are playing for 20 minutes or so, I practice something hard. I practice a makeup look that I'm not comfortable with, whether that's contouring or an eyeshadow or whatever, because I have nowhere to go. Nobody's going to see me if I mess it up, and I know I'm washing my face later. So that's a fun little tip for you, is if you're thinking about getting a little bit more glammed up for the holidays, and let me know that. Do you get fancier, whether it's clothes, hair, makeup for holidays, or are you super casual? Our family recently has been super casual. Like, I'm pretty sure my stepmom came over on Christmas in pajamas. What do you think, Blake? Let me know in the comments or in real life, because I know you can hear me outside. So Carla says she just purchased some today. Yay, Carla. Do you remember which primer it was that you got? Rachel says, same here. I never used primer until there was you. Oh, love the music, man, Rachel. Love it. Teresa says it makes a big difference. Use the Glorious. The other cool thing when you use primer is that you use less foundation. Because it fills in those pores, your foundation doesn't sink in the pores, and then you're like, oh, I can't even see it. It looks splotchy, and then you add on more foundation. We've all seen those people who just look splotchy and like heavy, heavy, heavy foundation. It's most likely because they don't have primer, and it looks uneven to them as they're applying it, so they just keep adding more, which is not what you want to do. So those are the two first items that I wanted to tell you about, the primers and then the BB Flawless. If you've worn my BB Flawless, let me know what you like about it. Let me know when you wear it. I would love, love, love to hear. And if you do any tweaks. One of the cool things that I love to do with my BB Flawless is to mix it with a little concealer. So I'll take it on the back of my palm, and I'll take my concealer and I'll add a little bit of that, and I'll mix the two together, plop it on my face, blend it out with my fingers or a blending bud or a kabuki brush, and that takes the dewy hydration of the BB Flawless BB cream, but it amps up the coverage. So you can take your concealer, of course, and treat bruises, acne, scarring, age spots, dark circles, but if overall you're just feeling a little splotchy, know that you can mix BB cream with almost every single foundation and concealer, and it really amps up that coverage, so it's really, really controllable. Carla says she purchased BB cream. Oh, yay! Perfect, Carla. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, so that is the lightest coverage. That is basic, light, my favorite thing for teens, my favorite things for people who want the no makeup look, quick and easy. All right, now we're gonna go a little bit further into coverage. So we went to like very sheen, freckles, age spots still shine through, darkness still shines through, but covers a little bit. Now we're gonna go to more medium coverage. So for more medium coverage, I would go for my Serum Plus foundation. This has skincare built inside of it, all right? So this is a new item. It came out this year. You need to shake it. Honestly, anything that's liquid, even the BB cream, you gotta give it a good shake before you use it. Skincare, makeup, shake it up, baby. Shake it like a Polaroid picture if you wanna have the best results, just like salad dressing, okay? If it's liquid, give it a good shake. You know when you have ketchup and you haven't shaked it and it's like, ugh, what mistake did I just make? Don't make that mistake with your makeup, okay? This one especially, though, you do have to shake up because it's a Serum Plus foundation, meaning it's skincare plus your foundation. So if you're someone who is worried about aging, you want more anti-aging built into your routine, maybe it comes down to, do I buy makeup, do I buy skincare? This is going to be what you're going to want to get instead. You're going to want to get the Serum Plus foundation because it has anti-aging skincare built inside of it. I do still believe that you should have a skincare routine, but if it's like either or, go for the 2-in-1. It is a buildable coverage, meaning it's going to start off medium, covering most of those kind of blemishes and freckles, but then you can go back and just add a little bit more where you need that coverage. You can make it to full coverage just adding on a second layer. It's nice and light. It is hydrating because it has the anti-aging skincare built inside of it. So you shake it up, And then a dropper is right here. So you're just going to take the dropper. This is my old one. What am I doing? Like, this is not the one that I want. Here we go. Denise says she mixes the BB cream with foundation on her hand and then applies. So this is another one. You can mix these together because this is a liquid foundation. So if you still want to kind of either water this down with some of the hydrating BB cream or add that hydration or add coverage, this is going to be great. So you take the dropper of the product, and you're going to see different people do different things with liquid foundations. If any of you have used liquid foundation, tell me this. How do you apply it to your face? Everyone is different, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents. People on YouTube, no joke, they like, have you seen that where they just like drip it on their face? I am not coordinated enough. I would be making a mess of my green jammies. I can't do that for you. That is not my forte. You're going to see a lot of other people who take their kabuki brush. This is my favorite face brush. If you need a foundation brush, get the one on my site. It's part of the bundle. If you do the upgrade, kabuki brush. I'm telling you, it's so good. So you're going to see other people who take their liquid foundations and drip it onto the kabuki brush, and then they take the brush and they stipple it, and then they blend it out from there. That's okay. That's good. Same thing with a blending bud sponge. But to me, if you're doing that in a brush, and gravity's real, right? So it might just like sink in and kind of like eat away at the bristles, and then some of it won't even be used, and you're just gonna have to wait till you wash out the brush to see that makeup again. I care about saving you money. I don't want any of your makeup to be wasted sinking in there. So what I do is I sometimes either just take the product and I apply it. I just put a couple drops on my finger and apply it straight to my face. Some people like to use a little palette, like there's makeup palettes, which is basically just like a little piece of metal, and you can drop it on there. I also like to, I'll show you on this one. I'll just do it here right now. I also like to put a little bit on the back of my hand. And I use my hand like a palette. I take my kabuki brush and I stipple it so the product is all over the brush, because some of the problems too is if you just drip it on it, it's just going to be like one little dot of it, and you're really not going to make the best use of your brush. Then what you do is you apply it first where you need the most coverage. So if you get red around your nose, if you get a little splotchy, that's where you're going to go, and then you're going to blend it out. For me, that's not really my problem area. My problem area is actually more around here where I have some of those age spots that I don't love. So don't go crazy and like apply tons of makeup everywhere. That's when people start to look like they have a makeup mask. Have we all seen that? We've probably all made that mistake. But if you apply the product first where you need the most coverage, those scars, those age spots, acne, and then you blend from there, that's what's really going to make it look like your natural skin. That's what's going to make you stand out, where people will not be like, oh my gosh, there's Mary with her crazy makeup again. This is going to give you that really natural look, yet covering the things that you're not confident about. So this is, as I said, a bit more of that medium coverage, and I'm just kind of stippling the product right onto that brush. Sometimes I've even used the back of a compact or something like that, where I'll just drop the product on there. I'll show you just for example. So I'll just like drop it, little drop right there. And I will just kind of tap the brush. Once again, getting the product right on the tips of the bristles, And then that way, I'm not gonna have an all gunky, gross brush, but I'm also getting the product really even over my bristles. And it is time for me to change my foundation color. Look at that. I am no longer the second to lightest shade. I am officially going to be the lightest shade. So what happens when you're part vampire? So here's the other thing, is that if your skin tone changes, you probably changed in October, maybe the end of September, and you're probably changing again now. My fairest, like when I am snow white, it's actually all the way until February. You know, you think about how frequently you're outside and getting those UV rays, even though you're wearing sunscreen like myself, it does change. So if you are putting on your makeup and you're like, oh, it's a little dark for me right now, it may be. And it's not that you bought the wrong makeup, it's that your skin is changing colors. So just know, if this is happening to you, now is a great time to make use of that foundation sale. So this will give a good idea for you where you can you see the difference between the light coverage with freckles, age spots, things like that, versus more medium to fuller coverage. Let me know. Say, yes, I can see a difference, anything like that. Say it out loud. Vampire. Blake, can you see a difference? Can you see a difference? Even like my natural flush. So when you wear BB cream, you don't need to worry about blush, bronzer, all that kind of stuff because that still shines through. But so do the things that may be inconsistent in your skin tone that you may not love. Okay, so that's when you're going to want to go for more medium to fuller coverage is in this kind of a situation. So here is the Serum Plus Foundation. Skincare can be buildable from medium to full coverage. All right, we're going to keep rocking and rolling to make sure that I cover all the bases. Another product that I do love that is buildable coverage, I will tell you it has limited shades currently right now, but if this is something that you're interested in, you are going to want to head onto the site to check it out, is my Pressed Powder Foundation. For some reason, there is magic in this. There is skincare also built inside my pressed powder. So if you have been told all your life that you can't wear pressed powder because it's just going to make you look older, this is not that. This is not that. It is so magically good. Has anyone here had, I feel like Denise, you have had the pressed powder. So there's actually shea butter built inside of it, so it is going to be hydrating. It comes with a little sponge. I just don't have mine right now. You can use it with the little sponge that it comes with for full coverage, or you can use more of a fluffy brush for lighter, medium, or fuller coverage. I recommend that every single person who wears makeup has a pressed powder compact in their shade for touch-ups, for if you get a little sweaty, a little oily, for if you want to add a little bit more coverage, for staying power. You know, if you have family events, weddings, holidays, things like that, I'm going to tell you right here, right now, one of the best ways to make it long lasting, you need to have face primer on. And then you're going to want to have two different types of things. You're going to want to have some kind of liquid BB cream, spray, some kind of like more of a liquidy consistency of a foundation, and then a powder on top. That combination is going to lock it in, really make sure that it's long-lasting success so that if you're up at 8 a.m. to get the turkey ready, you are still looking just as fine and fabulous at 8 p.m. when you're having dessert. So I'm just going to show you a little smidge. I'm going to apply it right over here. The other reason why I love having pressed powder foundation is because it mattifies your makeup. So if you have large pores, texture, scarring, wrinkles, when you have shine, which this is going to like perfectly demonstrate, so I'm going to really kind of show this to you. When you have shine on your face, the light captures and really highlights your bumps, your pores, your fine lines, and adding a slight little dusting of this pressed powder mattifies that. I mean, how flawless does that look? Once again, please ignore the fact that I just became vampire this weekend, but you can see because I still have like hydrating skincare products underneath, you can still see a little bit of this like youthful glow, which I would still have with the pressed powder. But then you're going to see the dewiness. So one of the questions that I always ask when people are asking me which foundation should I get, so I'm going to say, what finish do you want? Do you want dewy finish or do you want matte finish? So this is the difference. What finish do you preferably like to wear? Do you like to wear a matte finish or a dewy finish? Now, if you're someone who tends to get oily or sweaty, don't go for the dewy finish because you're just going to look dewy anyway, right? Go for matte, and as you get sweaty and oily, hopefully it won't eat away too awfully much at your makeup, but sometimes during the day, depending upon the humidity, depending upon if you're sweating over that stove or whatever, it might get a little bit. But, you know, when I know that I'm going to be out and really sweaty or my oily friends, I don't always recommend a dewy finish since they get that naturally. However, this is very natural. This is very young. So if you like this look and you don't necessarily have texture issues that make you feel self-conscious, I say go for it. The Serum Plus foundation will, on its own, give you more of a dewy finish. So the BB cream, the Serum Plus, and what I'm going to show you in a moment, the stick foundation, by themselves will leave you with this kind of a finish. The pressed powder foundation, or if you finish your product with a setting powder, it's going to give you this matte. So let me know, on you, do you like dewy or do you like matte? So right here, I'm going to try to like move my face around a little bit. My pores aren't too big. I really work on my skincare. I have been taking collagen. So a lot of these things that I'm doing to take care of my skin are making sure that my pore size stays smaller. But If this area over here, like most people, gets a little larger, when you have that dewiness, it highlights it. Sometimes, of course, we'll have fine lines. So another option you can do, say you don't want to have a full matte look, you can take powder, setting powder or pressed powder, and just go on the areas where you want it to not be as dewy. Let me know if that makes sense. Or if it's an area that you get a little sweaty or oily, just in those areas, but then the rest of your face can have that dewiness, that is an option. But as I said, having a pressed powder compact in your color, which if you need to be color matched, just type the words color matched below right on here, and I will make sure to color match you in a jiffy, because this sale only goes through this weekend. You get up to 32% off. So Carla likes a dewy finish, and Denise says she has it in her summer color. I think you're meaning the pressed powder in your summer color, right, Denise? And Rachel says, I prefer a matte finish. I usually use the matte primer too. Awesome, awesome, Rachel. All right, so then we're going to continue on. We talked about light coverage being your BB Flawless BB cream. We moved up into the Serum Plus. We talked about the pressed powder. The pressed powder, once again, by itself, you can use it and create a light finish. Depending upon the brush you use, if it's a softer, fluffier brush, it's going to give you a lighter finish versus if you use a more densely packed brush. Okay, so you can see the difference. That's going to pick up more product and put more on, and naturally that's going to be a more fuller coverage. And then if you use the sponge that it comes with, that is as full coverage as it goes. It is like a magic eraser. It's crazy. So if you like fuller coverage, if you like versatility of a product, one of the things that you may want to go for is my stick foundation. So the stick foundation, this is by far the best for travel. Do you fly for the holidays? Do you travel for the holidays? This is very, very versatile in the sense that you can use a little bit and just kind of cover those couple of areas. It pretty much doubles as a concealer and a foundation. So if you're someone who's like, I can't handle like too many different things, just give me something quick and simple and easy, this will be your jam. The difference between this, the ease necessarily of the stick foundation and the BB Flawless BB cream, first and foremost, the BB Flawless BB cream really will only give you light coverage. Okay, unless you mix it with something else, it's only going to give you light coverage, and you can apply it with just about anything, a brush, a sponge, your fingers. Okay, really, 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 really easy. The stick foundation, you can do a little bit, you can do like little dots here or there, and it'll be more of a light coverage, but you can also, by drawing more on your face, create more of a fuller coverage look with your stick foundation. So it really comes down to how much product you use, and you just draw it on your face. But the difference is you can't use your fingers. You can use a blending bud, but to be honest, my favorite for the stick foundation is going to be that kabuki brush, that densely packed bristles, because it does need to move the product around. It is not like liquidy like the BB Flawless BB cream or the liquid foundation. It is a stick cream-based foundation. So if you're looking for a cream-based foundation, the stick foundation is going to be it for you. Very, very hydrating. Gives that dewy look. The thing that I'm going to share with you right now with the stick foundation is I love to use the stick for contouring or for bronzing. So if you do choose to have more of a medium to full coverage foundation look, as I said, you're going to lose some of your natural flush. You're going to lose some of that blush, the dimension, so you do need to add it back in. And I personally love to use the stick foundation as my bronzer. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now, because you can see I've done a bit more fuller coverage. So when you take a stick foundation or any kind of a product for your bronzing or your contouring, you're going to want to have something that's maybe 2 or 3 shades darker than your skin tone, if not a little darker. I'm actually going to choose a darker shade just so it shows up easier on camera. Don't do as I do at home unless you're ready and willing to go for it. For people who are new to bronzing and contouring, doing something that's a little bit closer to your skin type is going to allow you more flexibility, whereas if you do something that's a lot darker, less is more. Less is more. So I like to start my contouring underneath where the end of my brow is. You can kind of feel your cheekbone, the top of your cheekbone, and where it starts to concave in. You do, if you want your face to be more lifted, add a bit more youthfulness to it, add a little slimness to it. Don't do it, where it's already down. Don't do it down here. You don't want to make yourself look like you have a beard. You actually find where it starts to curve in, and I actually go a little bit above that. So I'm going to share with you. So here's where it curves in. This is where my natural shadow is. I'm going to just do a little bit right here. So I'm using a very little amount of product because as you can see, it's a really dark shade. I'm choosing this so that it's easier for you to see. I am going to use my contouring brush. Tell me, have you contoured? Have you bronzed? And then I'm going to bring it upwards towards where the hairline meets my ear. So this is kind of the natural area that I'm going to be using. This is going to really add dimension back to my face. So the stick foundation is great for this because it is a cream. It's really easily blendable. If you want more, you can easily do it. It's great for traveling. I just absolutely love it. It keeps that dewy, youthful look to it, really natural with your skin. Carla loves a dewy look, so perfect, Carla. I can't wait to hear how that BB cream works for you. Rachel says she loves the stick foundation. I still need to try the spray. Maybe that's what I'll pick with this bundle. Yay, Rachel! And I think you'll be Scarlet, right, Rachel? I just want to double check, but I feel like this is when you become a vampire too. Melissa Knight. Melissa, how are you? She says she loves the spray, and I did try adding the pressed powder on top today, and it worked well. I want to try the stick foundation, she said. So do you want to try the stick, Melissa, to do what I'm doing, adding dimension, or as a foundation? And I'll be interested to hear, Melissa, next time you have a long day wear, morning to night, doing that spray with a little bit of pressed powder on top, I would love to hear how long it keeps your makeup looking great. Like, honestly, having foundation with a little bit of pressed powder on top, that's what I do for weddings. That's what I do, like, if I'm going to be on TV, if I just have a really, really long day. That combination is just so great. So what do you think of this? What do you think of this contour? When you contour, when you bronze, you want to think of making a 3 around your face. So around your hairline, I'll do a little bit just to share with you. Good thing I'm in my jammies and I'm not going anywhere, right? Oh, I'm using the wrong one. Whatever, I'm using the lighter one, but you get to see. So I like to go around the hairline. If you have a larger forehead, if you're trying to slim it, that's what contouring is going to do. It's going to make it look like angles in your face are really starting to recede back, so making things look smaller. So if you're self-conscious about a larger forehead, a wider forehead, wider cheeks, wider face, doing this kind of contouring is going to slim it down. If on the flip side you feel like your forehead is smaller, don't put it around your forehead. Don't do that. I have a large forehead, so I just kind of go to town. And then, of course, if you feel like you have a double chin, some jowls, you bring it underneath here, and you can take that same product. Here we go. And you'll just add it where you want that fake shadow to be. And you blend that out. Please don't forget to blend. I have forgotten to blend way too many times because I'm too busy talking, and then Blake's like, Mary, you look crazy again. If you're doing it underneath your jawline, I do recommend you bring it like you follow this jawline back behind your ear. We never want to have that line of makeup. And then you can also use this product to contour your nose. Hi, Christina. So here's where my natural nose shadow is. If you want your nose to appear thinner, you just draw a little itty bitty line closer. As I'm doing the same thing, I need my mirror. Here's my mirror. We moved some things around in my office today. And then I just use my finger right here because if I were to use a big old brush like this, it'll make a mess. But once again, what this is doing is it's creating a fake shadow. So on this side of the face, you're going to see I'm having that more medium to fuller coverage, and because of that, I had to go in and add a little bit of that contouring, and I'm using the stick foundation. So even though the stick foundation is a foundation, it doesn't mean it only is a foundation. I love to use it also for my contouring. So if you need a color match, please put color match below. Maybe you know your regular color, but you don't know what necessarily your contouring color is going to be. Comment color match or send me a message. This special only goes on through the 14th. It's up to 32% off. You get your mix of face primers, foundations, BB cream, brushes, concealers, and setting products. So we have talked about matte, we've talked about light to more medium coverage, we had the stick. I didn't demo the stick on my face, but trust me, it's very, very versatile and it gives you that matte look. I had to save half of my face for the spray foundation because I know that Melissa said that she wears it. Denise says, I still miss the mineral foundation. I know, Denise, I know. This one I do appreciate. So the old liquid foundation didn't have skincare built inside of it, and I will say having the skincare built inside of this new liquid foundation is very, very nice. Melissa says, contouring scares me, but trying new things is a good challenge. I agree, Melissa. Christina says, are you having a concert? I'm having a concert on Sunday at 3 p.m. It will be my concert, so I'm really, really excited. Thank you for asking, Christina. Setting sandwich. Yes, the setting spray sandwich is so good. All right, so talking about spray, going on to spray foundation. This is full coverage. So we have talked about lightest coverage being your dewy finish, hydrating BB Flawless BB Cream. Chef's Kiss, great for makeup beginners, great for teens, preteens, great for those of you who have more mature skin and want that extra hydration. Great for everybody. It's so good. Then, of course, if we want more medium coverage, we can do the Serum Plus foundation. This has skincare built inside of it. It's more of your traditional liquid foundation if that is something that you are used to. We talked about the pressed powder foundation, which you can either use by itself or on top of other products. And then, of course, I just finished up talking about the stick foundation, either as a foundation slash concealer, and or as a contouring. Right, now let's bring out the big guns. Spray foundation. Spray foundation is full coverage. Just like how I said BB cream is going to be light coverage and nothing really else, spray foundation is full coverage, and that is what you get. There is no light coverage with it. It just comes out, rip around and go. But what's so cool about it is that if you really do want to have that blank canvas, full coverage, this is like a feather light. It is amazing. It does need to be shaken. Shake it a bit. Have any of you tried the setting spray? Let me know. Now we're gonna see if I need to be vampire color again. So here once again is that light coverage from the BB cream. You could see all my freckles. And now I use the Kabuki brush. Told you whenever I'm choosing a foundation brush, it's going to be the Kabuki brush. I do about 2 or 3 sprays, and then, hello. What's cool with the spray foundation, not setting spray, is that because it's full coverage, you honestly don't need to use concealer. Like if you want to, because of the ingredients in the concealer, you can. If you're someone who just really traditionally likes concealer, maybe you want to use the concealer as more of a highlight, go for it. But if you're going to be using the spray foundation, as you can just see, it gets rid of the darkness under your eyes, it gets rid of the age spots, the freckles, everything. I'm going to, so wherever you first apply it is where you get the most coverage, and then you can just kind of do an extra little spray or two if you have any areas shining through that you want to touch up. But this is a game changer. Now when you have a more full coverage foundation, I'm going to tell you this, you have like a bajillion colors on your face, whether it's from your flush, your age spots, your freckles, scarring, all this kind of stuff. Like your skin is not just a blank piece of canvas, a blank piece of paper. When you do a more fuller coverage foundation, that's what you're creating. You're saying, this is the one color and we're just gonna paint it on my face. So that means that you may want to bring a little bit onto your ear. You may want to bring a little bit down on your neck. If you need to be color matched, please comment color match. When you are choosing a full coverage foundation, you definitely want to make sure that we have the right color for you. This is not something you want to eyeball. So the spray foundation is super, super light feeling. You feel like there's nothing on, but it does dry quickly. So I say this because you need to work in segments of your face at a time and just kind of press it in with that Kabuki brush, or that's, you can also use a blending bud, and you're just gonna kind of press it as you blend it, and it dries super quickly. Because of this, it's not gonna settle in your fine lines or your pores. It's not gonna shift around. It's not creamy, so it's not gonna move like that. It is a more satin finish, so it's not completely matte, but it isn't necessarily dewy. You can see it has really some of that youthfulness still to it, so if you do want to put a little bit of powder on top to fully mattify it, you can. So that is really the spray foundation, and yes, I am vampire. I do need to go for my lighter shade. I'll show you how light it gets. Let's just do this for fun. Let me pull out my vampire shade and I'll use it underneath my eyes. I can't believe I'm already so light. Has anyone else dramatically changed in their skin tone? All right, there we go. Yeah, that's the color I'm supposed to be now. Good old Scarlet. So even if you were color matched by me in the summer, I'm here to tell you, you may have changed. You may have gotten a little bit lighter, my friend. If you have a darker shade, but you still got a lot of foundation left, you can take a lighter shade and kind of mix the two. You could take a little bit of a lighter powder or a concealer, because as I said, when you go more fuller coverage, it really kind of does become that one shade. Now, the cool thing about that though is because you're doing full coverage, we already talked about how you're going to need to add in dimension and color with blush and bronzer, and that's where the magic happens. So I'm going to tie this hair back. How long does what last, Rachel? The setting spray, the spray foundation. The spray foundation lasts on your face, I think it's 10-hour wear. It lasts very, very long. And then once again, if you put pressed powder on top, you're now extending the length of that product even more. In regards to how long does it last, based upon use, it really kind of comes down to how much you use of it. So I frequently tell people like the BB Flawless lasts super duper long, but that's because generally people who use BB Flawless, they're trying to go for that no makeup look. So they're not going to be adding like extra layers for extra coverage. So it really kind of depends upon how much you're going for. But I will say, because the spray foundation is full coverage right away, it lasts pretty long. People really might need like 6 sprays per face, 6 to 8 sprays per face, and that's a very small amount of product. So it does last long, but it really does range based upon person. Yay! I'm so glad. So glad I could help. So let's do a little bit of contouring on this side, and I will also talk about concealer. So my bundle once again. Oh, and I've been talking for so long, so please feel free to tell me how you're doing. If you're joining in now and you haven't yet said hashtag hello lovely, say that for me. It's your little way to wave over the internet. I have been having holiday bundles since November 1st. I'll be having them through, I think, December 4th, just bundling up things that are my favorite things, some new stuff, but I actually don't know what the bundles are until like the day before it drops. So this bundle does go through the weekend, and if you're not yet color matched, just comment color match, send me a message. I want to make sure that you are successful with these products, and I also want to make sure that you feel and look fabulous for the holidays. So what's cool about this bundle is you're going to get it with time to spare, with time to practice before Thanksgiving. So if you're someone who's like, I want to look awesome at my family Thanksgiving table, I got you. I want you to look fabulous too. So I'm just taking that stick foundation once again, just to add that dimension in back where I have this fuller coverage. So if your face has gotten a little wider, a little more droopy due to time, or any other elements that might have done that, adding in a contour is gonna be a game changer for you. Now this is contouring, once again, is a little scary. I know Melissa was saying like she's never contoured before. It can be scary, so practice it when you have nowhere to go. Do a little bit, like little dot of the product to blend it out, see how you like it, and see if you can add a little bit more. This is definitely like a baby step thing, but once you start to work with contouring or bronzing your face, you're gonna see it really can change the shape of it. It can make you feel so much more confident. It can give you make you look like you weigh 10 pounds less. I mean, it is so awesome what contouring and bronzing can really do for your face. Oh yes, thank you, Melissa. I knew you were here. Thank you. So for me, when you get, say for example, you do the contour, you do the stick foundation in a darker shade for your contouring, this is gonna last you years. You're gonna use so little, and a little goes a long way with the stick foundation, that it's gonna last you incredibly long. All right, so I love that I'm like actually actively putting on all this makeup when I'm really just gonna go wash it off later. But you can see the difference in the contoured side of my nose versus the not contoured side of my nose. So if you feel like your nose is wide and you want to thin it down, once again, you see where your natural shadow is, and then you draw a little line further in. You're just creating different shadows or adjusting where the shadows are. It's all an optical illusion. It's pretty incredible. People who are really skilled with contouring, I mean, they can look like they're different ethnicities. They can completely look like their structure of their face is something completely different, which is awesome. So as I said, I like to use my fingers. You can also use a eyeshadow brush when you're doing the contouring on your nose. Same thing can happen if your nose for you is a little longer than you'd like. You can apply it more at the bottom, and that gives a more look that it's shortened. If you feel like the contouring anywhere is a little too much, you can just take your foundation brush and just lightly pat over it, and that's going to really kind of soften it, make sure that there's no harsh edges. With all of your makeup, you really don't want to have like a strong beginning or end, unless you're maybe having like, a bold lip or a winged eyeliner. Then obviously, you want to have that structure, but otherwise you want things to kind of blend seamlessly with each other. All right, so we've gone over the different foundations. For lightest to fullest, we had our BB cream, we had our Serum Plus foundation, that liquid foundation, the pressed powder foundation, the stick foundation, which is very versatile, whether it's as a foundation, concealer, or as a contour, and then of course ending with that spray foundation to give you that full coverage, feather light weight to it, really long lasting wear. And then you can of course take the pressed powder foundation and put that on top of any of the others. You can use the BB cream foundation underneath anything. And all of these foundations do work best when you have a primer underneath. Telling you, game changer, as so many people here joining us live have been able to say. Then when you go in for a little bit of blush, it really kind of depends upon your face shape and what you'd like to do with it. Blush is not included in this special. However, if you don't have blush, get yourself one. I can help tell you which one's going to look great for you. My favorite one overall is the shade Sisterly. It's a really natural flush shade. Looks great in every single skin type. Has a little bit of luminescence to give that youthfulness look to your skin. And then I kind of apply it above where I had that contour line. And I like to bring it upwards once again to add that lift and kind of slim the face down. So blush isn't necessary, but if you're going for more fuller coverage foundation, you got rid of your natural flush on your face, and it might add a little nice to your, a little youth to your face, a little color back into it. Some people find it foolish. They're like, I just put on full coverage foundation to cancel out all my redness. Yes, because a lot of people who have redness and they want full coverage, it's because they have redness everywhere or it's splotchy. When you do blush, you get to choose where it is. So as I said earlier, I love doing my makeup because it's something I can control. Right now, my health is bananas. Like it still is. My doctor's appointment, I didn't get any clarity whatsoever what's wrong with my heart. I'm like, not happy about it. Not happy. I'm not gonna lie, I had a good cry earlier. But that is one of the main reasons why I do my makeup. I do my makeup because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel pretty. It makes me feel polished. It also is something that I can control. And when I take that 5, 10, 15 minutes to put my makeup on, knowing it's going to last me all day, knowing the ingredients are good for my skin, not going to be causing anything bad, it's working towards that anti-aging, I feel good investing in myself, investing in that self-care. I feel good every time I see myself. I feel good when I see people and I don't look haggard or like I was crying earlier in the day, even though there's nothing wrong with that. It just makes me feel better. And that's what I want to be able to bring to you. Is I want you to be able to feel better, to feel like you've got some control, and to feel fabulous. Like, not just feel better, I want you to feel fabulous. So if these products can do that for you, I'm here for it. Part of this special, if you upgrade, because the original, there's like different tiers. The original, the tier number 1 is your primer and your foundation of choice. If you go to tier 2 or tier 3, it's adding in either a concealer, a face brush, or a setting product. And then the next one, same thing, you can add another one of those items. I've already told you with most of the foundations, my go-to brush is going to be the Kabuki brush. If you don't have this yet, it is by far a game changer for your makeup application. Please make sure you wash your brushes. That is a cardinal rule when it comes to your makeup application. So many people are like, wash my brushes? What do you mean? You need to wash your brushes pretty frequently, especially if you wear makeup a lot. It's just collecting dead skin cells, old makeup. It's probably making you break out. So if you need tips and tricks on how to wash your brushes, I got you, boo. I got you. Ruth, so great to see you. Thank you for the hashtag hello lovely. So nice. Rachel says, is that your autumn tree in the background? No, this is another tree. I currently have 3 trees in my house, and there's more coming, and I know you can appreciate that, Rachel. This is a brand new tree that I just got, and I'm gonna have to show it tomorrow because it may be my new favorite. It is technically like not streamers, but like a tinsel. And there's just these poles that go up, and then it's a tinsel wrapped tree that it all came flat in a box, and then you pop the top of the tree on with a star and it just becomes a tree. It's amazing. It's so good. It's great for like offices, small spaces, things that like you need to be able to pack it up easily. And when I saw it, I thought that is gonna be perfect for my office. I'm really excited. Rachel said she had a good cry today too. Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness. And then she cried some more listening to the new Taylor Swift album. That's awesome. Yep, therapy and music therapy. Melissa says, are you washing your brushes once a week? Yes. So you do want to wash your face brushes once a week, your eyeshadow brushes once a week as well. I do on my site have a brush cleaner. This cleans, desanitizes your brushes, and it leaves them dry very quickly. So especially for like eyeshadows, if maybe you wear green one day, but then a pink another, you don't want to mix those eyeshadow colors. So you just spray this on the brush, rub it off on a towel or a paper towel. It's clean, sanitized, and dry. But if you need to, especially for like your foundation brushes, you're going to want to wash them at least, like at least once a month if you're someone who does makeup very infrequently. But if you wear makeup pretty regularly, I really suggest once a week. Adding it into your weekly routine is going to be really good for it. You can get just baby shampoo, get in those bristles. You can get, even at the dollar store, they have little makeup scrubbers for your makeup brushes. And you just kind of keep scrubbing it until the water starts to run clean. It's going to remind you a lot about your hair. When you shampoo your hair and it doesn't really bubble up or anything, you're like, man, my hair's dirty. That's how these are going to be until they start to get clean. Then when you dry them, this is really important, dry them hanging this way. You can buy a brush hanger, a brush dryer hanger. I mean, it's like $6 on Amazon. You can... What's some other methods of doing it? Even at least like sideways is okay, I guess. I wouldn't put them up because then the water's going to go in and eat away at the glue and break your bristles down. Ideally, this way is best. If you have a towel rack, you can even take a hair elastic and loop it around the towel rack and loop it around the brush itself, and it will hang like this. So just Google like how to dry my brushes. You're going to see loads of different ways to do it, but drying it so that the bristles are pointing down, the water will go down, is the best way to keep your brushes long lasting. And you can even get a good routine of eventually, if you get multiple brushes, you can then wash them less frequently. So that's where I'm at, where I'm like, I don't have time to wash my brushes every single week. So I've now bought a few extra brushes so that way I can rotate them and then have one big brush washing session, which is awesome. Rachel says, you'll never catch judgment from me having multiple trees. Exactly, Rachel. Denise says, I use the hair tie to the rack. That's awesome, Denise. It's so useful. So in this bundle, once again, you get your primer of choice and your foundation of choice. And then if you want to upgrade, you can have a brush. So my two suggestions, if you don't know which brushes to choose, obviously I said the Kabuki brush for your foundation purposes. If you like powder or setting powder, you're going to want to get the setting powder brush. This is nice and fluffy. I did use the contouring brush for contouring purposes, so this is another great one as well. Speaking of setting, you can choose a concealer, brush, or setting product. So my setting product options are one of these two. So there's a Prime and Set Mist. If you like a dewy finish to your makeup, this is going to be what you want, because whatever your finish was, this will have again. It is a fine mist, and you want to think of it as hairspray for your makeup, hairspray for your face. So you shake it up, and then you just lightly spray your face. And at first, it's going to look and feel wet. I promise it's okay. This is a great option for those of you who have textured skin, large pores, fine lines, anything like that, because you can spray this and then take a blending bud, one of those blending sponges, and just kind of press it. I had one here. I wish I knew where it was. Here's a little one. So this, if you have makeup that likes to budge and get stuck in fine lines, crow's feet, you spray that setting spray and then you lightly take your blending bud in those wrinkles, in that textured skin. With the setting spray fresh on your face, you're going to just pounce it. This marries the setting spray to your foundation and it locks it in place. You just keep patting until it is dry. This is one of my favorite things for under eye concealer issues. If people have under eye concealer that creases or kind of shifts around, putting that setting spray and then using a little damp blending bud to press it in and marry it is going to be a game changer. So as I said, that leaves it the same finish, whether it's matte, dewy, satin. That's going to make it whatever you just left it to be. If you want a matte finish, and if you want like hardcore, stay on my face and don't you dare move, even if I'm hugging people at a wedding or whatever, you're going to want the Prime and Set powder. Now this is a different kind of setting powder because there's actually water inside of it. So there's like water encapsulated beads. So you shake up the jar because it needs to get that air to keep the little water balls of powder going. And then you tap the product into the cover just a little bit, just a wee little bit. Take your setting powder brush, and then when it hits your skin, you're going to feel an instant cooling effect. This is going to be your jam if you have texture. If you're like, I don't want anyone to know I have pores at all. I don't want anyone to know I have under eye bags at all, because under eye bags are a physical thing. So I'm just going to put this on half of my face, and you're going to see the difference that the setting powder does. I do a little at a time because of that kind of water encapsulated technology. My girlfriend, who does a full face of makeup every single day and teaches Zumba, this is what keeps her makeup looking so good, even while she teaches Zumba. Isn't that incredible? I would just look like I had come out of a pool. I sweat a lot. I mean, even before I had my heart issues, I was a big time sweater. So it doesn't surprise me that now that I have heart issues, I'm having problems. Hi Christina, your lights are making me want to put up my tree. Love the Prime and Sip powder. That's how I set my oily brows. Yes. So Christina is one of my friends who loves the BB cream. She loves that kind of like no makeup look, but she always does her brows, her lashes, sometimes a little lippy. Am I right, Christina? Just to add a little color to her face. And what's great is she has oily skin. And for those of you who have oily skin, you know the problems when it comes to your eyebrow makeup kind of rubbing off or smearing all over the place. Maybe you're someone who touches your face a lot. Maybe your mascara kind of runs. This will lock it down. This will lock it down. And if you don't want to wear any makeup, but you don't like the oil, you don't like your large pores, putting this on your face is going to be a filter. It is going to be a filter for your face. So let me just show you what that Prime and Sip powder did. So that's on this side of my face versus this side of my face. Both sides had full coverage foundation. Both sides had blush and contouring. But look at what it did for my physical under eye bag, this shine area here, which once again, this is a little dewy, this is a little satin, letting that hydrating come in. I did have BB cream under both sides, I will say that. But this is the fully matte Prime and Sip powder. You don't see the pores, you don't see the physical aspect of the under eye bags. So once again, maybe you don't want to have full matte. You take that Prime and Sip powder, rock your world, right? Because if you're anything like me, I don't like my physical under eye bags, all right? I'm not here for it. So I'm just going to take that brush and just apply it along my nose where I have those larger pores, where I get a little sweaty, and on that under eye bag. And there we go. And yet the rest of my skin gets to have a little bit more of that dewiness to it. So you can spot treatment areas. You don't have to do it everywhere. You really get to kind of pick and choose where you want to do it. So Christina says she uses the brow pencil, then taps the setting powder in with a blending brush so it lasts forever. So Christina uses an eyeshadow brush for her brows. She doesn't even have to worry about using this big old thing. So if you just have even your under eye bags, you could just use a blending brush for your eyeshadow to cover that area. What do you guys think of the difference from the powder? Let me know. Could you see it? I can obviously see it, but I never know how things come across on camera. So if you wouldn't mind letting me know if you could see that difference, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yes, Rachel is saying, put up the tree, Christina. I'm here for it. If your neighbors want to judge you, let them. Let them. It was funny. I was driving yesterday, and there's a few other neighbors in my neighborhood who already have their tree up. I put my tree up on Halloween, my Thanksgiving tree. That's the only way I could get away with it with Blake. I was like, oh, it's a Thanksgiving tree. I put little pumpkins in it, and I have bronze and copper ornaments, and then we'll switch it for Christmas. But I was like, it's a Thanksgiving tree, Blake. It's Thanksgiving. So me and the kids actually put it up like Halloween, and one of my neighbors, we didn't turn it on, we didn't like broadcast it from the world, but everyone met at my house because we have a Halloween parade. And my next door neighbor was like, you want to know what's the scariest thing I've seen all night? That tree. I didn't even know what he was talking about because I didn't have my tree lights on. I thought he was talking about my maple tree in the front yard. And then once I realized, I was so like, whatever. Like, I don't have it on, and tomorrow's November 1st, buddy. But as I was driving around my neighborhood just this past week, now mind you, today's only November 11th, so still by a lot of society's terms, like this is still a little early. A lot of people obviously like to wait till after Thanksgiving, but I was driving around, I saw other people's trees up. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't care anymore. And maybe it's because I'm 40, or maybe it's the past couple of years have really taught me that like my priorities are my priorities. But like if my next door neighbor, who's curmudgeon-y, doesn't like that my Thanksgiving tree is up, because now those lights are on, they're beautiful by the way, then oh well, he doesn't live here. He doesn't have to see it every night. It brings me so much joy, especially with the clocks going back. Any little twinkle lights, any merriness that I can have, my kids love it. It makes me happy. It doesn't hurt a single soul. So I am here to say that if you want to put up your tree early, if it would make you happy, if it would be less stress, like that was the other thing, is I felt like some years we were like hurrying, like, oh my gosh, we have to get the tree up. We have to do this. Like, now's the time. When maybe you're shopping, maybe you're seeing family. If it's already up, it's done. We've done it a couple years early where we didn't even put up the ornaments, but it was just like ours are pre-lit, so it still looked really pretty at night until we had time to do the ornaments. So I totally recommend you doing it. Denise said, you made me want to do a spa night. Yay, time for a mask. I love that, Denise. Do it up. Uber says, I want to go back and listen to this from the beginning. Will it be up on YouTube or Minute with Mary later? Yes. So if you go to I almost said Mewtwo. You can tell that I've been hanging out with my Pokemon loving kids way too long. You can go to YouTube to the Mary and Blake page, Ruth, and it will be up there. Or you could just watch this video from the beginning right here on Facebook as well. Christina says, it's the husband and that's the problem. I need a Thanksgiving tree. Yes, Christina. Pinterest Thanksgiving trees. Find the pictures of them. It's going to sell you on it. He may not be into it. Blake is no longer watching, but he would definitely comment. I did not ask permission. I put it up with the kids. And then he came in and saw it. So I just said, I've had a rough couple of years and this makes me happy. And he sat there and he was like, once again, like, what's the bad of this? Okay, it's up. It's one less that he didn't even have to put it up. So yeah, we're happy with it, and I'm totally gonna make this stick. And the other thing is, I feel like people in, you know, other areas of the world who don't have Thanksgiving, they put it up earlier because they don't have Thanksgiving. But if you put it on the tree, if you put the tree up, couple ideas is I've seen some people get leaves that they write on, so they and their family write something that they're grateful for every single day, and they decorate the Thanksgiving tree with these things that they're thankful for. So as you know, November passes, you get more and more of these colorful leaves. You know, my dog, you know, my school, my health, my house, my family, whatever. You get all these things, and it's so beautiful. As I said, I just have lots of little pumpkins. I've seen things, if the bottom of your tree is too bare, I've seen people take like fake pumpkins and pumpkin decorations and put that at the bottom, like where your presents would be. So Pinterest, Thanksgiving tree, it's going to make you a believer. I know, right? Shut up, neighbor. Ruth says, after Christmas, I decorate mine for Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day because I love the lights in the winter. Totally agree with you, Ruth. Like, it is dark. I have said many times, and I know that this isn't going to happen. I mean, heck, if we can't change daylight savings, I know that my magical little idea isn't going to happen. But I have said for so long that I wish that Christmas could be at the end of January. I feel like we all get into the doldrums come the new year, and it just stays dark and cold and bitter. And then yes, in February we have Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl, and then we have St. Patrick's Day, and like spring's on its way. So come March, like hopefully we're out of seasonal depression. But like February's rough. January, boring, right? Really rough. Like you're back to the grind. Everybody's sad because they have to pay bills. But if Christmas could be moved to mid to late January, imagine that. Imagine having like our American Christmas season now lasting from Thanksgiving through the end of January. You get a whole nother month of that, a whole nother month of these lights in your house. And then I've had people be like, but it's Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, Jesus wasn't born in the winter. Jesus was born in the spring, because you want to know why? Because there were lambs with the shepherds. And you want to know where lambs are born? In the spring. So Jesus was born in the spring, not near the pagan winter solstice, but the church decided to celebrate it near winter solstice to hopefully convert pagans. And that's why we have Christmas trees, because once again, there were no evergreen Christmas trees when Jesus was born next to the lambs in a desert. I'll get off my soapbox, but needless to say, every single year I'm like, Blake, who could I talk to? And he's like, no one, Mary. No one is going to change Christmas for you. So that is why I have my tree up early. We keep it up until the 12th day of Christmas, which is January 6th. But I love your idea, Ruth, of keeping it up even longer and changing the decorations. Rachel says, exactly. Start early with Christmas decorations and then you can enjoy it for longer and not be over top stressed at holiday style. Yay! I love that idea. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much. I'm now realizing that I've been talking to you half Matt, half not. So apologies. Thank you for hanging out with me. Once again, I'm chilling in my pajamas. I had a rough start to today by not getting clear answers on what's wrong with my heart. And really, like, that's just a huge reason why I do my makeup. I love to do my makeup because it makes me feel like me. It makes me feel happy. Helps me feel like I'm in control of something. So if you ever feel like there's chaos in the world that you can't handle, manage, things bothering you, put on some mascara. One of my girlfriends, where is it? One of my girlfriends used to get such a kick out of me. I don't have my lipsticks here, but she could tell, because she was a close girlfriend of mine, she could tell when I was having a bad day at work because I would have a bright pink or bright red lipstick on. And to most people, they'd be like, oh my gosh, you look so fabulous today. Look at you, bold lip. Oh, you look great today. Like, you just get compliments when you put on a bold lip. It just happens. Anybody else there with me? Like, anybody else, if you don't wear a bold lip every day and then you suddenly do people say nice things? Yes. And I'm a huge believer that, like, when you get complimented, you need to give compliments back into the world like 3 times as much. It makes everybody feel good. But I would wear a bold lip on those days to make myself see myself in the mirror, to be like, you are strong, you are bold, you are okay, like, you've got this, you chose this, you are awesome. And then you're constantly getting, you know, that feedback from other people as well. So now that I work from home and I don't have those coworkers to be like, nice red lip, Mary, I now tell myself that. I will put on some bold colors, or I will do some fun things, or treat myself, like Denise said, to an in-home spa night, and I will actively be telling myself, like, you deserve this. You did a really good thing today. Like, or you had a hard day and you deserve this pampering. And then every time I go to the bathroom and I pass by myself in the mirror, I see myself, and I see myself as the version that I like to see. You know, we're talking about Christina with her oily eyebrows. Christina has very little eyebrows. She probably doesn't like to see herself without eyebrows, and that's why she does her eyebrows every day. I obviously have like crazy thick eyebrows, so I don't have that plight, but there's other things that I have that when I tweak it with cosmetics in some way, shape, or form, I feel like $1,000,000. So I'm here for it. If you work from home, if the makeup is literally only you are the person that sees it, it still shouldn't stop you from doing it, because it really will help your shoulders be pulled back. You feel better about yourself, and most importantly, it gives you control. And to me, on days when I feel like I don't have a lot of control, that's worth its weight in gold. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Thank you. You know, I'm just going to continue to be patient about this health. My heart's been wacky for months now, so like, what's another couple of weeks while I do some more tests? As I said, I was frustrated because I was really hoping that I was going to go in and he would be like, this is what's wrong with you. And it wasn't that. So I just have to keep exercising patience. Just like how I do my makeup and stuff for help with feeling in control. I bake to teach myself patience. And I've also become a plant mom for that reason, because sometimes in adventures in baking, it doesn't go as planned, and you have to be really patient, especially if you're doing like sourdough bread and waiting for it to rise and making sure it's okay. And with plants, like, sometimes you try your best and those things just don't, just aren't feeling that window or your house or whatever. And doing these 2 kind of patience exercises have been so helpful for me while I've been dealing with these health issues, because so much is out of my control. So I do the makeup to control something, but the baking and the plants are teaching me to be patient, that sometimes progress happens and you really can't see it. Like, you can sit there and watch that sourdough starter eat away at the flour and water, but like, bless your heart, really, you just need to come back in a few hours. Or your plants, you know, you wake up on one day and there's suddenly a new leaf and you didn't even know that was happening. So it's just been these little things that are really helping me with like mindfulness exercises that I'm here for. And the more that I can help you feel confident, the more that I can tell you, like, these little tricks and tips help me, and I hope that they help you, plus they're on sale for the next few days, the more that I'm going to be here for it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Friday night. I hear the storm outside, as I said. All friends who are on the East Coast, I hope that you are safe and hunkered down for the hurricane and now tropical storm. hopefully you can do something special for yourself tonight. I know Denise is going to do a little spa night at home. I might go wash my face and put on a skincare mask as well. I'm already in my pajamas. I've got my Christmas tree going on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Carmel, my heart is still not great. So my heart isn't great. I think that that's one of the big questions I get is like, how is your heart? How are you? I hope you get good news, that it is nothing. So fact is that like something isn't right with my heart and it's not good. What I'm hoping for is a diagnosis, is for a plan of action. Because in the meantime, while we don't know what it is, I've also had to stop medications that have been helping me or have been helping alleviate pain. And I'll be real with you all, I've talked how I have anxiety. So since last week when I found out that I had heart problems, I had to go off of my anxiety medication. So that's been really scary for me to be like, oh my gosh, I've gone through like the 2 hardest years of my life. And now I'm finding out I have heart problems and now I have to be without something that can help me. But that is why I'm going to be doing my makeup a lot more. And that is why I'm going to keep continuing to show up and tell you that it is so much more than makeup. It is so much more than makeup. And I know many of you understand that. And that is why I'm here, because it makes me feel confident and it makes me feel good. And we need more of that. We need more of that in this world, right? Melissa says patience, but not persistent with the doctors to get, but be persistent with the doctors to get answers. Yes, I am persistent. I'm a Taurus, so I'm a Taurus, so I didn't really stop. Appreciate today just for today, says Ruth. Exactly. Denise says loads of rain in her area. Rachel says hoping you get some answers soon. A game plan. Exactly. That's what I want too, Rachel. It's funny because it's like, if it's this thing, you need these things, and if it's this problem, you need the complete opposite. So I do have a left bundle branch break. I don't know. There's something that is wrong with my heart, but that has been wrong with my heart. I thought I was having a heart attack last year. I'm not. I wasn't. It was an anxiety attack that like I didn't know, but it was like in my body. It was between, like, as I said, the miscarriages, the surgery I had, Blake being incredibly unwell. I think I internalized a lot of stuff. So there was one day where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm having so much pain. I need to go to the hospital. It was anxiety. They were like, it's either indigestion or anxiety. And I was like, well, it could be both because I'm older now, but we'll see what it is. But, you know, it's, I think being able to, be more, like I've learned to be more accepting. Like, okay, some things are out of my control and I just need to be patient. Yes, persistent, but patient. So that's why you're going to see me baking, playing with my plants, and doing my makeup. Carmel says, I still have no reasons to why I suddenly have AFib. Remind me, Carmel, did you have COVID? And have you reached out to like a long COVID clinic about that? And how long ago did it start? Because there be some weird things going on. Ruth says, going off your anxiety meds, bless your heart. That's so hard. Oh, yes, left bundle branch block. That's what I have, Carmel. That's what I have. But that's not what this is. But I have that issue too. So, but they found that out when I thought I was having a heart attack. They were like, oh, you've got this thing. This wouldn't be causing this. And it usually happens to people much older than you. We don't know if it's going to be an issue. So now that I am having additional heart issues, I have to remember to say left bundle branch block, because now when people ask me, is anything wrong? I have to say, at least I know I have a left bundle branch block. Don't know what that means. It means that something in my heart isn't firing right. So I do know that. But it has nothing to do with what's been wrong with me. Oh, goodness gracious. So no Carmel. So no COVID. Then I don't know. I am no help to you, my friend. I'm just as much help to you as my doctor was to me today. My cardiologist was to me today. Well, thank you, friends. I'm going to let you go. If you learned something in this Minute with Mary, can you do me a favor? If you learned something, I want you to tell me down below what you learned. So I went soup to nuts about primers, different foundations, contouring, setting products, brushes. If you learned one thing today, I would love to know what that was. And if you feel so inclined, you can actually hit that share button below and share it on your wall and tell your friends, hey, this is my friend Mary, and I learned something new today from her. And if you want to, learn something too, you could check the video out. Sharing is one of the best things that you can do for My Minute with Mary business. I am hoping to be coming here on video more often, sharing these tips and tricks, maybe in my pajamas more often. Who knows? Who knows, friends? But if I can help others feel more confident with their cosmetics and skincare, I'm hoping that's what I want to do. I want to reach more people. So you can share it to your stories, you could share it to your wall, you can even share it in Messenger with a best friend or someone who you think would enjoy it. But definitely comment below if there's something that you learned. And don't forget, this sale that includes the primer and foundations is available just through this weekend at minutewithmary.com. You can save up to 32% off all of these face items. If you need a color match, just comment below color match or contact me. It's really me. Whenever you're getting messages, whether it's text or email or here on Facebook, it's me. It's always little old me, freckled Mary in Rhode Island, writing you a little message. So I appreciate you taking the time to hang on out for the shares, and I hope you have a magical night, my friends. Take care of yourself, and I can't wait to read the things that you learned, and I will talk with you soon.